Imagine living in a country where every move you make is monitored, every word you speak is controlled, and your entire life is dictated by the whims of one man. A place where even the pictures on your walls must be chosen by the government, and failing to protect those images could land you in prison. Welcome to North Korea, a nation ruled with an iron fist by Kim Jong Un, the world's most enigmatic and controversial dictator. In this video, we unravel the shocking truth about life in this secretive state and the unimaginable rules its people must follow. How Kim Jong Un's dictatorship controls the lives of millions. North Korea is often referred to as the world's largest prison, and for good reason. From the government-mandated hairstyles to the brutal punishments that span 3 generations for a single crime, the country operates under a system of control that defies belief. The Kim dynasty, with Kim Jong Un at its helm, has built a regime steeped in propaganda, fear, and absolute power. But how did North Korea come to this point? What are the rules that govern the lives of its citizens? And why is it so difficult to escape this fortress of oppression? The supreme leader and unquestionable obedience. In North Korea, the supreme leader is more than just a political figure. He is worshipped as a deity. Portraits of Kim Jong Un and his predecessors, Kim Il-sung and Kim Jong-il, must be displayed prominently in every home on the highest wall. These portraits must be kept spotless, and the government provides white cloth to ensure they are regularly cleaned. Failure to maintain these portraits can result in severe punishment. There are stories of individuals who saved these portraits during fires or natural disasters, sometimes at the cost of their lives. One infamous case occurred in 2020 when a woman failed to save the portraits from a house fire, despite rescuing her children. She was sentenced to life in prison for this act. A controlled life. The rules of North Korea. North Korea's rules are unlike any other country's. Citizens cannot choose their own hairstyle. The government provides an approved list of 10 hairstyles for men and 18 for women. Copying the leader's hairstyle is strictly prohibited. Violators face imprisonment. Similarly, citizens must wear clothing that aligns with the government's strict dress code. Western fashion, such as jeans, is banned, and any sign of adopting foreign culture is met with harsh penalties. The government also controls entertainment. Watching foreign movies, listening to South Korean pop songs, or even possessing media from outside North Korea is a punishable offence. In 2022, a man was executed for watching South Korean dramas and listening to K-pop music. This level of control extends to television, where only government-approved channels are allowed, and the programming is heavily propagandized. Internet access. A privilege, not a right. While the rest of the world enjoys almost unrestricted internet access, in North Korea, it is a luxury reserved for a select few. Citizens must obtain government permission to use the internet, and even then, access is highly restricted. The use of social media platforms like Instagram or Facebook is non-existent, and international calls are strictly prohibited. Every phone is monitored, and screenshots of activity can be taken by the government at any time. Punishment for generations. One of the most shocking aspects of North Korea's justice system is its policy of punishing 3 generations for a single crime. If someone commits a political crime, their children and grandchildren also bear the punishment. A famous example is the story of Shin Dong-hyuk, who spent his entire childhood in a North Korean labor camp because his father was accused of a political crime. In these camps, conditions are inhumane. Prisoners receive minimal food, endure grueling labor, and are subjected to extreme physical punishment. Shin's mother and brother were executed in front of him, and he endured unimaginable suffering before finally escaping to freedom. The history of North Korea. A nation divided. Before diving deeper into the dictatorship, let's briefly explore North Korea's history. Before World War II, Korea was under Japanese occupation. During the war, Korean resistance fighters, led by figures like Kim Il-sung, fought for independence. After Japan's defeat in 1945, Korea was divided into 2 zones: the Soviet-controlled North and the American-controlled South. In 1948, Kim Il-sung became the leader of North Korea, officially known as the Democratic People's Republic of Korea, DPRK. Initially, both North and South Korea shared similar histories and cultures. However, their paths diverged drastically due to their respective governments. While South Korea embraced democracy and capitalism, leading to rapid economic growth, North Korea became an isolated, authoritarian state under the Kim family's rule. The Kim dynasty, a legacy of power. Kim Il-sung, the founding leader, established a cult of personality that glorified him as the eternal president. After his death in 1994, his son Kim Jong-il took over, continuing his father's oppressive policies. Kim Jong-il ruled until his death in 2011, when his younger son, Kim Jong Un, assumed power. Each leader has maintained strict control over the nation through propaganda, fear, and an iron-fisted approach. Kim Jong-un's rise to power was shrouded in mystery. His early life and education remain largely unknown, though reports suggest he studied in Switzerland under a false identity. Upon becoming leader, he quickly consolidated power by eliminating potential rivals, including his uncle Jang Song-taek, who was executed in 2013. A nation in famine and poverty, North Korea's government claims to prioritize the welfare of its people, but the reality is starkly different. During the 1990s, a devastating famine known as the Arduous March claimed the lives of an estimated 2 million people. Even today, food insecurity remains a critical issue, with 60% of the population suffering from malnutrition. Meanwhile, the regime pours resources into its military and nuclear programs. The role of education and propaganda education in North Korea is free and mandatory, but it is heavily influenced by propaganda. Students are taught to revere the Kim family and view them as protectors of the nation. History lessons are rewritten to glorify the regime and demonize its enemies, particularly the United States and South Korea. Teachers are often underpaid and rely on bribes to provide adequate education. Students who cannot afford these bribes are left behind. Despite these challenges, education is one of the few avenues for upward mobility, provided one remains loyal to the regime. Daily life under surveillance. Every aspect of life in North Korea is monitored. The government employs a vast network of informants who report any signs of dissent. Citizens live in constant fear of being accused of disloyalty, which can lead to imprisonment or worse. Even casual conversations are monitored, and any criticism of the regime is met with severe consequences. Escaping North Korea. A dangerous journey. Leaving North Korea is nearly impossible. The borders are heavily guarded, and those caught attempting to escape face execution or life in labour camps. Despite these risks, some brave individuals have managed to flee, often through China. Their stories reveal the unimaginable hardships they endured and the lengths they went to for freedom. The future of North Korea. Under Kim Jong-un's rule, North Korea remains one of the most isolated and repressive countries in the world. International efforts to bring about change have had limited success, as the regime continues to prioritize its survival over the well-being of its people. The world watches as this hermit kingdom persists, its people living under one of the most brutal dictatorships in modern history. Conclusion. North Korea's story is one of tragedy and resilience. While the regime's oppressive policies have caused immense suffering, the courage of those who have escaped and spoken out provides a glimmer of hope. By shedding light on these issues, we can honour their struggles and advocate for a future where the people of North Korea can live in freedom and dignity. Stay tuned as we continue to uncover the hidden truths about our world. If you found this video informative, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.